We'll start with Tamil Thai Valthu. I request everyone to stand up, so we'll do the Tamil Thai Valthu and then we'll get it started. Thank you. நீராறும் கடலுடுத்த நிலமடந்தை கையிலொழுகும் சீராறும் வதனமென திகழ்பரத கண்டமிதி திக்கணமும் அதிசிறந்த திராவிடனல் திருநாடும் தக்க சிறு திரையுடலும் தரித்தனரும் திலகமுமே அத்திலக வாசனை போல் அனைத்துலகும் இன்பமுற எத்திசையும் புகழ் மணக்க இருந்த பெரும் தமிழனங்கே தமிழனங்கே உன் சீரமை திறந்து என்று செய்ய மறந்து வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே வாழ்த்ததுமே. Hello everyone, thank you for joining us. We welcome all to the second year Tamil Makkal Mandram TED Talk. We have an incredible turnout. We had 11 participants so far today, and you all must be excited as I am already today. On behalf of Tamil Makkal Mandram, we welcome you all to this fantastic event. We are a non-profit organization is dedicated to serving our local communities in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. We proudly present triple treat of awesomeness, the first one being cultural events. Every year we conduct Chitrai Vila purely for Tamil. So today we have TED and Chitrai Vila purely for Tamil. And then we go with the Deepavali, is we have a banana leaf treat with the celebration. And then we have a Pongal Vila every year we celebrate Pongal Vila. And this year it's being very special to us. I can't imagine already that we are going to be step into 10th year now. We are stepping into 10th year. You can expect like a wonderful celebration for the 10th year. And then the second awesomeness is the sports events. The sports events, on June 8th, we have a volleyball, throwball, and then followed by cricket, badminton. We have all those events. And then the third awesomeness is the charity initiatives. Last week, our youth team did a fantastic service in Nashua Soup Kitchen. We are planning to do every month. We are planning to do some charity services with the youth group and everybody whoever wanted it. So, and also probably we would request public to fund us. We will also, TMM could fund and public can fund so that we can serve the community. That's one of the initiatives that we are trying to do. And in addition to National Soup Kitchen, we do V-Care Center, LTLC, and much more to come. Do you know what the best part today is? Already I mentioned we have a TED Talk. And then we have a Chitra Vila just for the Tamil thing, Tamil. And today, our amazing youth team is running the whole TED show with the guidance of our youth director Ramya. And they'll be making sure the youth is going to make sure we are running everything smoothly. We are also so proud of them today. And we have got incredible lineup of guest speakers and youth speakers who are going to inspire and motivate us. A huge thank you to our grant sponsors at DVP Realty, City Air for supporting us and making this event possible. Our younger generation is the world's future, and whenever I talk to some younger generations, they have incredible ideas. And we need someone to hear those ideas, nurture them, and help them to implement those ideas. I think this is like TED event. We have our young leaders are going to present different ideas, and we have as a community, we need to have different people so that like different leaders would come forward and use these ideas, and maybe we can implement them so that we can help the youth to bring it to life. Let's continue and empower our youth, support each other, and make a positive impact in our community. Let's learn from, so today we have like 11 presenters, and we are going to learn from each and everyone is going to learn from each other. Also, we are also going to learn from how different ideas, and like I was talking to some young adults, and they have totally different ideas that we never thought of. That's really amazed me, that amazes me most of the time. And let's learn from either each other experiences and share our stories and grow together. So now it's time for sit back and relax and get ready for the morning of inspiration, learning, and fun. Thank you all again. Let's make this day to remember. Let's make today start of something amazing, and let's continue to shine together as a community. Thank you. Welcome all.
You. So our next speaker is Shakti Balakrishnan. Shakti Balakrishnan is an 8th grader at the Academy for Science and Design, and she has a diverse range of interests. She enjoys dancing, practicing taekwondo, playing basketball and volleyball, and choreographing for little kids. Her deep fascination with biology began in 6th grade and has since become a significant passion. She's eager to further explore this passion by sharing her knowledge with others. Shakti will be presenting on the topic ventricular septal defect, comparing holes in hearts.
Thank you, Tarun, for the introduction. My name is Shakti Balakrishnan. I'll be presenting about ventricular septal defect. You might be thinking why I chose this topic. Well, I chose this topic not from close experience, but I've had many friends who have had this, and it's not very pleasant. So let's continue. So what is VSD? In general terms, it's a heart defect at birth when there's a hole in the wall of your heart that separates the lower two. If the hole doesn't close over time, the blood will be pumped to the lungs and mainly lead into heart failure. Why and when does it form? It forms when the baby is in the mother's womb. While it's in the womb, the heart is still developing. And while developing, it has to the muscular wall separating the left and right side doesn't form fully. And because it doesn't form fully, hearts are formed inside of the heart. Next, what's the cure for this? The most common cure is to do open heart surgery. If there are no signs the hole closing on its own, surgery has to be done, otherwise it will be very fatal for your lives. So what does VSD lead up to if not cured? So if surgery is not done for the baby when born, then it will mainly lead into severe heart failure, but increases the risk of pulmonary hypertension, irregular heart rhythms, and strokes. Heart failure is if the heart cannot pump or fill blood adequately into the brain. This cannot be cured, but to reduce this, you can eat less salt, limit fluid intake, and get a pacemaker or defibrillator implanted. Pulmonary hypertension affects arteries in the lungs and in the right side of the heart. The symptoms of this include shortness of breath, dizziness, and chest pressure. This will worsen over time, but oxygen therapy and medications will lessen the symptoms and make your life slightly easier to live. Then, irregular heart rhythms, also known as arrhythmia, the heart pumps too slow or too fast. There can be either no symptoms for this, or there will be severe symptoms such as chest pain, fainting, or dizziness. Solutions for this are implantable devices, medicine, and surgery. This is very common with more than 3 million cases in the US per year. Lastly, strokes, also known as brain attack or cerebrovascular accident. This is damage to the brain because of interruption to the blood going up. This is a serious medical emergency and it can be treated only immediately. Symptoms include speech difficulties, droopiness on one side of the face, and half of your body going numb. More than 200,000 cases in the US per year, making it very common. So that's all about VSD. It's really fatal, and that's all for today. Thank you.
Thank you, Shakti. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage Kritesh Ramesh Kumar, a dynamic 6th grade student from Diamond Middle School in Lexington. Kritesh is not your average middle schooler. He's a passionate explorer of nature, animals, and everything in between. You see, Kritesh isn't just a bystander in the world of discovery. He's an active participant, diving headfirst into TMM competitions and other programs, all while nurturing his love for the natural world. But Kritish's curiosity doesn't stop there. No, he's a true aficionado of the underwater realm, boasting not one, not two, but 3 fish tanks in his very own home. And if that's not impressive enough, Kritish is a self-proclaimed dinosaur fanatic. He's the kind of kid who can spot a dino's name just by looking at it, a skill that's sure to make any paleontologist proud. But Kritish is not just about science and discovery. He's also a budding artist with a collection of prizes to prove it. And today marks a special milestone for him. It's his first time gracing the TED Talk stage. And with his boundless enthusiasm and infectious energy, Kritish is here to share his unique perspective with all of us. So let's give him a warm welcome as he takes us on a journey through his world of wonder and excitement.
Hello everyone and welcome. My name is Kritish Kumar and today I'm here to talk to you about something that's very close to my heart, ecosystems. But before we dive into the complex web of life that makes up our planet, I want to take a moment to share something about myself. You see, I'm what some people might call as a nature enthusiast. I'm a lover of all things wild and wonderful. As you can see from these pictures, my idea of a perfect vacation involves immersing myself in the beauty of nature. Whether I'm exploring aquariums, wandering through zoos, or getting lost in the lush greenery of a rainforest, I'm in my element. And for that, I have to give a big shout out to my wonderful parents who have always supported me and encouraged me for my love of the nature. For my love for nature. So, why am I here today? Well, I believe that understanding and appreciating nature is not just a hobby, it's a responsibility. And that's why I'm here to share with you the importance of investigating the unity of nature. Are you ready to embark on this journey with me? Great, let's dive in. Unlocking the Treasure Chest, Guide to Adventure. First, we're going to be talking about what is an ecosystem, types of ecosystem, characteristics of an ecosystem, examples of ecosystems, symbiotic superstars, pollinator power, importance of bugs, threats to ecosystems, and be an ecosystem explorer. Next slide. What is an ecosystem? Imagine a bustling city. Now imagine all the plants and animals living together in harmony. That's an ecosystem. An ecosystem is basically a big network where everything is connected. Whether it's towering trees or the tiniest insects, they all play a role in an ecosystem. The big players, producers, consumers, and decomposers. Think of an ecosystem as a giant dinner party. The producers are the chefs whipping up meals with sunlight, and the herbivores are the plant eaters munching on the plants, the carnivores are the meat eaters munching on the plant eaters, and now don't forget the decomposers that are the cleaners that turn leftovers into yummy nutrients for the plants to reuse again. Stat time, plant power. Plants are the rock stars of the ecosystem. They're the ultimate solar-powered chefs, using sunlight to create food for themselves and everyone else. Plus, they breathe out oxygen, which is kind of a big deal for us humans who need it to breathe. So next, consumers. These are heterotrophic organisms, which means that they do not have the capacity to manufacture their own food. So they feed on other beings. They can be classified as primary consumers or herbivores, secondary consumers or carnivores, tertiary or quaternary consumers or supercarnivores, or what you may know them as apex predators. Hidden heroes, decomposers. Decomposers might not be the prettiest part of an ecosystem, but they sure do the most work. They're the ultimate recyclers, turning dead things into delicious matter for the plants. It's like magic, but it's way cooler because it's in real life. Did you know that there are more than 1 million known species of decomposers? That's more than all the vertebrate animals combined, including fish, birds, and mammals. Why did the mushroom get invited to the party? Because he was a fun guy. Even decomposers get to have fun. They play a super important role in cleaning up the ecosystem. So next time you see a mushroom, whether it's on your dinner plate or outside, give it a high five. But from a safe distance, of course. Types of ecosystem. Terrestrial ecosystems. They occur on the Earth's crust and out of water. In various types of areas, mountain, plains, valleys, or deserts. Aquatic ecosystems. Imagine an ecosystem as a giant city. Water is the plumbing system, and it carries vital nutrients and keeps everything cool and hydrated. Without water, ecosystems would be like a city with a clogged water pipe. Everything would grind to a halt. Mixed ecosystem. These ecosystems locate in areas of intersection of different types of terrain, for example, in which the aquatic and terrestrial environments are combined. One example of a mixed ecosystem is a waterfall because it has water and land. Ecosystem examples. Polar ecosystem, coral reefs, also known as the forests of the sea, rainforest/forest ecosystems, forest/woodland ecosystems, lentic ecosystems or lagoons, wetland ecosystems. Yeah. Did you know that the Amazon rainforest produces 25% of the world's oxygen? It's like a giant green lung. And that's a lot of fresh air for us to breathe. So next time you take a deep breath, thank the Amazon rainforest. Symbiotic superstars. When different species help each other. Nature's full of amazing partnerships. Some species team up to survive and thrive. Like clownfish and anemones, it's like having a best friend who always has your back or fin. That time, pollinator power. Bees aren't just buzzing around. By carrying pollen from flower to flower, they help plants reproduce. Fun fact, did you know that over 75% of the world's flowering plants rely on bees and other pollinators to make seeds and fruit? Why did the bee get invited to the math lecture? Next slide. Because he knew how to use division and addition and subtraction. Did you know that bees join humans as the only animals who can tell the difference between odd and even numbers? Yeah, next slide. Yeah, next slide. Threats to ecosystem, pollution, habitat loss, and climate change. The future of the ecosystem is in our hands. By learning about them, we can make good choices to protect them. Imagine a world where ecosystems thrive, providing clean air, fresh water for us to drink, and amazing biodiversity. We can make that happen by working together. Being an ecosystem hero doesn't require superpowers. Simple actions in your daily life can make a big difference. By recycling water bottles and using reusable water bottles, or even planting a tree in your neighborhood. These can all make a difference. Thank you for joining me on my exploration of ecosystems. Remember, we have a role to play on protecting these amazing natural communities. So get outside, explore, and be an ecosystem explorer. Together, we can make a big difference in our planet. And also, there was a quote that once said, as one, we are a drop, but together, we are an ocean. The same quote applies for ecosystems. If one person can't make a big difference, but together we can make a big difference. Thank you, and have a good day.
Thank you, Kritish, for that wonderful presentation. Our next participant is Ian, who is a fourth grader from Nashua, New Hampshire. He likes playing soccer and wants to be a professional soccer player when he grows up. Ian plays the saxophone, piano, and violin. He also sings classical music and plays mirdangam. He also enjoys reading. Ian will be presenting on the journey of quantum physics. Please welcome Ian to the stage.
Hello, my name is Ian. I'm gonna be talking. I'm gonna be talking about quantum physics. So first, if you want to know what quantum physics is, you have to know what physics is. So physics is how the world works. If you drop a ball, it drops on the ground. It's like the building blocks of the universe. Now, quantum physics explains for super small things like atoms and even smaller stuff. Well, if you want to know what an atom is, you first have to know what's inside it. In the middle, there's a nucleus, and the nucleus contains of 6 neutrons and 6 protons. And around the nucleus is electrons and photons. Well, in atom components, protons are positively charged particles and neutrons are neutrally charged particles, which means that neutrons are positively charged and negatively charged, both together mixed. And electrons are negatively charged particles. The power of quantum weirdness. There's a lot of weird stuff in the quantum world, like entanglement. Entanglement is at the heart of quantum physics. Imagine one coin instantly knows what side it's on, and the other one knows what side it is on too, no matter what. 2 tiny particles can be linked, so when you measure one, the other one instantly knows, even if they're far apart. There's another weird thing about quantum tunneling. In classical mechanics, which is how our world works, electrons must climb the potential hill to climb the other side. But in quantum mechanics, the electron can just go through the barrier. It's like superheroes going through a mountain. Well, a particle can be anywhere. It's always moving. It's super fast. It might be here, here, here. There's always atoms everywhere. And if you want to know what tech uses quantum mechanics, MRI machines. MRI machines use scanning your body with super small sensors that don't see heat so they can see your bones. Solar panels rely on small solar cells that charge up the solar panels with the charge from the sun. Credit card chips. Credit card chips don't use quantum mechanics, but they use quantum tech. If you scan it, the card reader will complete the transaction. Toasters. Toasters use, I bet you've never known how toasters use quantum mechanics by using agitated electrons which heat up your bread. If you want to learn more about quantum physics, watch these movies: Avenger Endgames, Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, and Ant-Man and Wasp Quantumania. Thank you to my dad, my mom, and my auntie and brother. Thank you all for coming this long. I encourage you to take the quantum physics quiz on Google Forms using this QR code.
Our next speaker will be. Our next up is Supreet Satish, a freshman at Acton Boxborough High School. Supreet's passion lies in technology and innovation, and he stays abreast of the latest developments in these fields. Additionally, he is a basketball player and closely follows the sport like many other youngsters. Please welcome Supreet, who will be sharing his perspectives on a very interesting topic: ideology and economy.
Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing? Good? All right, so can we change that good into bad? Because I can talk about government and economics with you guys. All right, so I'm going to present about ideology and economic policy by Supreet Satish. What? Can someone fix this? Okay, so first we have to delve into ideology. It's literally in the name of the topic. Ideology is essentially a set of beliefs. Anyone want to share their set of beliefs? Just a set of beliefs. Raise your hand, please. Anyone? No? Okay, so essentially ideology is a set of beliefs. We have two main ideologies that we want to focus on today, liberal and conservative. Liberal ideology is mainly associated with the Democratic Party. And essentially, it has its own set of characteristics that identify it as the liberal ideology. So essentially, we want to focus on the fact that liberal ideologies really embrace change. If you have a liberal president, Democratic president, they're really focused on stuff like civil rights, they'll focus on poverty, they'll focus on actively changing the United States and actively changing anywhere they're performing in. Now, conservative ideologies. Mostly associated with the Republican Party, you see main conservatives like Donald Trump and Herbert Hoover and Ronald Reagan. They all want to keep the American traditions possible. So they believe in hard work, the American dream, and everyone starts in an equal place and they only work themselves up through hard work. They will not change anything and they'll try to keep the way that America's running. So they stick with, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So now, how does everyone feel about taxes? Not good? Okay, so essentially we delve into fiscal policies. We need to identify two different policies, and this is called fiscal policy. It's decisions that the government makes on taxation and spending. I have a fighter jet right there. The government makes a decision on that. That's fiscal policy. Taxation, the government makes a decision about that. They want to decrease your taxes or increase your taxes. This is in the government's hands. I know everyone wants the government to decrease their taxes. I'm sorry. So essentially, it's under control of Congress, and it's basically for the good of the people. Mainly liberals try to use fiscal policy to influence the economy and influence their goal of changing the world and the United States in general. And they use Keynesian economics. Keynesian economics we'll get to later, but that's essentially the main driver in fiscal policy. Next is monetary policy. That's just decisions on how much money should be in the economy. This is driven by the Fed, or the Federal Reserve. The Fed essentially just puts money into the economy or takes it out. And they can do this through raising interest rates, setting the requirements for banks, so keeping how much money a bank can have, and also buying and selling government bonds. So that's how they regulate economy through monetary policy. And that's mostly associated with supply side economics, which we'll get to in a later slide. This is mostly associated with Republicans and how they try to regulate the economy. So now let's get to Keynesian economics. Does anyone know who that is? Anyone want to raise your hand and answer? That president. 1940, yeah, you? Huh? Okay. It's Franklin D. Roosevelt, and this is one of the biggest Keynesian heroes, as we could say, in the US's history. Keynesian economics is basically using fiscal policy to influence the economy. They try to go into the economy and indulge themselves as much as possible so they can enhance civil rights and human rights. They're big on taxes because they like to institute government programs to help the people. I'll get to an example later to make this much clearer, but let me just explain the basics. Keynesian economics, they'll try to increase taxes to fund themselves, to put them into programs, and try to indulge themselves into the society and people so they can try to directly influence economic policy and people. That's Keynesian economics. Let's get to an example. So in Acton right now, there's quite a bill running around, and people are voting right now on whether they should increase property tax to influence spending on different stuff like infrastructure and education. That's liberal ideology because that's Keynesian. You increase taxes so you can get more money to influence on other rights and other things that the people want. Liberal ideology right there. Another example is the Great Depression. We see FDR right here. He's a big Keynesiast, right? We have a guy named Herbert Hoover. he's a big Republican. He really wants to maintain the economy. And he said that in the long run, we don't need to indulge in the economy right now. It'll fix itself. Someone really needs to tell this guy, in the long run, they're dead. It's the Great Depression right now. The Great Depression is not something that should be delayed. That's why FDR stepped into office and passed so many regulations, so many bills, put so many government programs in, increased taxes, but in the end, it increased the welfare of the people. That's Keynesian. Now let's go into supply side economics. This is the real heart of economic and government intervention. So essentially, supply side economics focuses on supply and demand. John has 5 apples. John wants 5 more apples. Costco has 5 apples. Where is John gonna get this 5 apples from? I can't hear you. Costco? Yep, that's supply and demand. Costco has it, John wants it, John can go get it. Solves problem supply and demand, right? So goods. Goods are your Xboxes, your PlayStations, your candies, your whatever, right? That's exactly what goods are, and they regulate the economy. Economy needs these goods to run. And what produces goods? Businesses. That's what supply side economics faces on. That's what Herbert Hoover was implying, that businesses will sort out everything. But he didn't account for the fact that it's a Great Depression and businesses aren't exactly in the best shape right now. That's exactly what supply side economics is. So the government will try to reduce taxes so that the people have more money to spend on the apple, spend on whatever they want. That lets the demand flow and that lets the supply increase because businesses get more money from the people spending more because they don't have to spend more on taxes. Once the businesses increase their productivity, goods increase, regulating the business and the economy. That's exactly what supply side economics is. Businesses run economy, and the presidents and candidates will try to decrease taxes, decrease government indulgence, decrease programs, and let it run itself, the free market. Oh. Okay, so in conclusion, we have 2 different ideologies and 2 different ways that they influence the economy. You have liberal ideology and the conservative ideology. The liberals mainly focus on trying to indulge themselves into the economy as much as possible using Keynesian tactics to regulate the economy and achieve their goals, which is civil rights, poverty, and many other goals that are along the lines of these problems. Now you have conservatives indulge themselves into supply side economics and try to regulate businesses without doing anything. They'll regulate businesses through monetary policy and keeping the economy high so that businesses have more to spend, more goods to produce, and in fact, the economy is increased. So how is everyone doing now? Good? I achieved the goal? Did anyone learn anything? Yes? All right, perfect, thank you.
What? No, I'm good. Thank you for that presentation. Ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasure to introduce our esteemed guest speaker today. Dr. Sundareshan D. Sambadam is an oncologist in Bristol, Rhode Island, and is affiliated mainly with Rhode Island Hospital and Kent County Memorial Hospital. He was born and brought up in Kumbakonam, Tamil Nadu. He went to a public school for his schooling, and after 6.5 years studying at Thanjavur, he spent 18 months in Jitmer, Pondicherry, and came to USA in 1971. He has been in practice for more than 55 years. He has expertise in treating lymphoma, lung cancer, and chronic leukemia, and among other conditions. His passion for giving back to the community and his commitment to preserving and sharing Tamil culture are commendable. Dr. Sam and his wife, Vijaya Lakshmi, along with his friend, Dr. Janikiraman, and his wife, Malika, initiated the Harvard Tamil Chair Project and successfully established the Tamil Chair at Harvard University. In addition, he played a major role in creating a Tamil Chair at Toronto University. Dr. Sam always feels that he is lucky and blessed to be a son of Tamil and beneficiary of her extraordinary treasures. Please join me in welcoming Dr. Sambadam, whose expertise and insights are sure to inspire and enlighten us today.
Thank you. வணக்கம், அனைவருக்கும் வணக்கம். இது அருமையான ஒரு ஏற்பாடு. இதில் வந்து நான் என்ன பண்ண போகிறேன், என்ன பேச போகிறேன் எனக்கு தெரியல. I kind of a misfit, but still I had fun with the whole thing. என்னை பொறுத்த வரைக்கும், I think it's extraordinary to explore diverse side of life. So to that end, I didn't want to be a doctor, I became a doctor. I didn't want to be an oncologist, I became an oncologist. That's what nature dictates. So what I believe in this, you have to become acceptable and adaptable. So that way you can mold yourself and develop yourself and become the best possible in that area. I think these kids are very blessed and very, amazingly equipped with intelligence and also energy. So my hope is that they also learn some Tamil, because Tamil has its own diverse opportunities. To that end, I think that's the reason we felt that we are here. We must introduce our language, our culture to the world and to the kids. So to that end, we worked hard and got the chair at Harvard and also Toronto, and we had to do a lot more. My hope is that we will have one in University of Chicago also. But in the meantime, what I think is important, we have to encourage the kids to speak in Tamil also. I think that's very important. I didn't know what it's going to be, but I believe that that skill must be also instilled in them and expected to perform in that way. I think it's important. It's not easy, but it will be possible. That's what I think. I am hoping that some of these kids will develop themselves into great scholars in science as well as Tamil, because Tamil can get more benefit out of these kids also. My earnest hope is we keep Bharatiyar alive in our community. I think in meetings like this, we should not have all this music, but we should have Bharatiyar song, Bharatidasan songs, and those kind of stuff must be introduced and encouraged. I think essentially, I believe in this word, Themadira Tamurosai Ulamalam Param Vaisal Vendum, that's an important word. And that's what was instilled when I was growing up. My parents told me that you are a Tamil. You have to Tamil padi, Tamil செய்யி, தமிழ் இது பண்ணு சொல்லி வளர்த்தாங்க. அதனால தான் ஜானகிராமனும் அதே மாதிரி தான், அவரும் நானும் பக்கத்து ஊருக்காரங்க. So we decided that's what we will do. I think some of these kids should go to Harvard and learn Tamil. We have to work as a community. We will talk more about community responsibility. The children's responsibility is to seek and learn and find out who they are, where they come from, what is their background. I think to that the parents are the key figures. Without my parents, without Janiraman's parents, his uncle was Ira Serian. I spent time with him. How much fire in him is amazing. Even his deathbed, I was with him. He was talking about how we can continue to enhance and improve our values and virtues as envisaged by Thiruvalluvar. Thank you. I'll talk more. I appreciate all the wonderful things you guys are doing, and I hope and pray that your skill in science as well as Tamil will improve and enhance. God bless you. Thank you.
Actually, நீங்கள் தமிழ் நீங்கள் மத்தியானம் பார்த்தீங்க. Actually, in the afternoon, we'll just, actually, we have all the different poets programs also saying, you'll get to see that. Okay, sorry. I don't want to hijack.
Thank you. Our next speaker is Siddharth Vikram. Sid is a 10-year-old who loves to read, and he can read all day long without even remembering to eat. He enjoys science-related books and projects and is completely fascinated by space. Sid has been praised for his imagination and ideas that often stem from his interest in science, math, coding, chess, and innovation ideas. Sid, short for Siddharth, lives with his parents and younger brother in Massachusetts. He has accomplished a lot at his young age. Some of the highlights of his accomplishments. Sid stood third at Panacea Challenge and received a $1,000 scholarship. Sid's WaterBot idea was chosen for Student Ideas in a Better America and received a $100 scholarship. Sid participated in Global Innovation Field Trip as a presenter and co-host in 2022 and 2023. Sid was among top 7 innovators as a part of U.S. National Innovator Challenge. Sid was interviewed on the Innovation World podcast series, and he co-authored a book on Mission Aries. Sid's topic is epics as influencers. Please welcome Sid on stage.
Hello. So, thank you for the wonderful introduction. My name is Siddharth Vikram. I'm 10 years old and in 5th grade. And today I'm going to be talking to you about epics as influencers. How many of you have heard of some media influencers like on YouTube, Mr. Beast? Raise your hand. Yeah, a lot of you. But really good influencers, sadly, aren't here with us today. But their legacies are written down in books, specifically one book, the Mahabharata. I'm going to be talking to you about characters in the Mahabharata, what they teach us, and how they influence us in daily life. Let me talk to you right now about one of my favorite first. Abhimanyu. In the middle of the Kurukshetra war, when things seemed lost because Dronacharya had a Chakravyuha formation going straight towards King Yudhishthira. Even when things seemed so dark, Abhimanyu stepped up to the plate and charged at the formation. He teaches us when things seem lost, when there is no light, push your all. Push your all, then you will see light. He showed remarkable loyalty to his family, even sacrificing his life in the end. And this is something we all should admire about him. Arjuna shows us how he has immense dedication to learn, and we should have that too. A dedication to learn means we get better test scores and our parents don't kill us at home. But it also helps us immensely in many stages of our lives. He had such a determination to learn that he actually did bow and arrow in the dark, trying to learn from sound rather than sight. He had a remarkable determination to help his Guru Drona out at all times. When a crocodile bit Guru Drona's leg, instead of running away, he shot an arrow at the crocodile, showing that he has such dedication to earn the respect of his guru. Bhishma shows us loyalty to his family. He changed the course of his entire life just because his father wanted to marry someone. He threw away his chance of becoming a king. He threw away his... Okay, I'm so sorry. Wait. I'll fix it. I got it. Sorry. Well, flukes up happens, obviously, but he showed so much loyalty to his family, even in the Kurukshetra war. Even though he had to side against the side with Dharma, he showed so much loyalty to the throne and family, which was amazing. And he kept up his vows, even in the harshest of times. Even when Hastinapur could have crumbled, he kept his vow. He did not break it. He did not go in as king. He did not have children, and I admire him for, even in the worst times, sticking to his beliefs. Dhritarashtra teaches us not to be blinded by love. he had so much love for his eldest son Duryodhana that he let him commit many, many, many bad deeds, such as telling the Pandavas to go to a lac house which was soon to be burnt down. He helped Duryodhana just because of his love. He was blind in two ways, physically and emotionally. And this is teaching you that you should have attachment to your loved ones, but don't have so much attachment that you let them get away with bad things. Duryodhana teaches us you have to be smart to get your goal. He did not give up, I am not going to go to the throne. He might have been overambitious. That was bad of him. But I admire the fact that he was smart. I don't like that he plotted, but he was smart. He tried many different strategies to achieve his goal instead of, when the first roadblock came, he just gave up. He also teaches us not to have blinding determination, not to be jealous of other people. He teaches us if something goes in the way of truth, if what your goal goes against truth, don't do it. Stay on the path of truth. He teaches us this, and Karna is one of my, honestly, favorite characters because he shows immense generosity to others. When Indra came to him and asked for his chest plate and earrings, which made him very, very hard to defeat, he gladly gave them away. That is so much generosity. And he had true friendship with Duryodhana. Even when he learned he was fighting his own brothers, because of his immense friendship, he kept on fighting. He kept on fighting because of his big friendship with Duryodhana. And there are not many friends who are willing to do that in this world today. So I wanted to talk about every single character in the Mahabharata, but I would be here as long as the Mahabharata is, and it's the longest epic in the world. So for the sake of your time, I don't want to do that. But in conclusion, we learn that you should not look at the whole moral of the story on the Mahabharata. You should look at the individual characters, the lessons. Some characters that I haven't included. Krishna teaches us to get to your goal, you might sometimes have to stray off. If you want to get to a goal of Dharma, you sometimes have to stray off the path of Dharma to get there. And Shakuni teaches us also you have to be very smart to get your goal. There are many lessons that all these characters teach us, and you have to look at each and every one of them, see how they influence us, and see the lessons they give us. So, like and subscribe to these characters. Thank you.
Thank you, Siddharth, for that wonderful presentation. Our next participant is Yuvan. Yuvan is 14 years old and an 8th grader at the Academy for Science and Design. His favorite subject is computer science, and he likes to play the piano and tennis in his free time. He is passionate about AI and making an impact in the medical field. Please welcome Yuvan, who will be sharing his perspective on how AI can revolutionize neuro-oncology.
Hi everyone, my name is Ewan, and I'll be talking about how artificial intelligence can revolutionize neuro-oncology. So, what is artificial intelligence? We hear the term artificial intelligence and AI get thrown around so much in society, but what does it actually mean? When people think of AI, sometimes ChatGPT comes to mind, robots, and even Amazon Alexa. Well, those are all forms of AI, but that's not the definition. Artificial intelligence is a simulation of human intelligence by machines and computers. Neuro-oncology. What does neuro-oncology mean? Neuro-oncology is a branch of medicine that focuses on diagnosing and treating tumors in the brain, spine, and central nervous system, and dealing with neurological problems from cancer. The roles of neuro-oncologists. They mainly diagnose and treat. Diagnosis. Neuro-oncologists are responsible for diagnosing brain tumors, brain and spinal cord tumors through examinations, imaging tests like MRI and CT scans, and biopsies. Neuro-oncologists are also responsible for creating personalized treatment plans based on the patient's unique tumor. Current difficulties in neuro-oncology. Late diagnosis. Brain tumors are more often diagnosed at later stages when the symptoms become very severe. Delayed diagnosis can reduce the number of treatment options and overall impact patient outcomes. Interpretation of scans. Interpreting imaging scans like MRI and CT scans of the brain can be challenging. Differentiating between tumor tissue and normal brain tissue it requires expertise and can lead to misinterpretation or misdiagnosis. Tumor aggressiveness. Aggressive brain tumors can be difficult to diagnose when it's early because they grow quickly and cause symptoms similar to other neurological conditions. Additionally, their rapid growth may make them harder to detect on imaging tests. Here's a graph of the past year's estimated new cases in 2024 of brain tumors are 25,400. Estimated deaths in 2024 are 18,760. And the 5-year relative survival rate after diagnosis is 33.4%. Here is a graph talking about the cases by stage. Localized is when the tumor is in its primary site. So if it develops in the frontal lobe, it stays in that confined site. If it's regional, it still stays in the frontal lobe. And if it's distant, it metastasizes to like the spinal cord. How can AI play a role in diagnosis? 1. Early detection saves lives. Brain tumors can be very challenging to diagnose, especially in the early stages, when symptoms may be subtle. AI-powered image analysis can improve early detection by identifying even subtle abnormalities in medical imaging scans that might go unnoticed by human observers. Advanced imaging algorithms. AI algorithms can analyze large amounts of imaging data with speed and accuracy by using advanced machine learning and deep learning techniques. These algorithms can recognize pattern and anomalies in medical images, enabling earlier detection of tumors, which leads to prompt intervention. 3. Improving diagnostic accuracy. AI-powered image analysis can improve the diagnostic accuracy of brain tumor detection by reading the risk of false negatives and false positives. AI algorithms can help clinicians make more confident diagnosis, leading to earlier initiation of treatment and better patient outcomes. There are many branches of artificial intelligence and AI technologies. Machine learning, deep learning, natural languages processing, NLP, robotics, computer vision, generative AI, neural networks, and expert systems. ChatGPT is a form of generative AI, and Google Assistant and Siri are all forms of natural languages processing. AI detecting neurological tumors. So AI diagnosis requires computer vision. Computer vision utilizes machine learning and neural network, specifically deep learning, which is a form of machine learning, and convolutional neural network, which is an algorithm structure. Here's a demo of how an application would work. First, you would upload a scan of an MRI, and after it will segment and put a box around the possible tumor and state its accuracy. You just look at that. Like right, yeah. But how did that AI model work? So first, you need a data set that you can train your model on. In this case, it would be a data set of brain tumors. This data set should be pre-processed and augmented. What does pre-processed and augmented mean? Pre-processed basically means improving the quality of the image so the model can learn from it. Augmenting basically means creating variants of that image so the model can learn from a diverse range of data. Second, you need to find a suitable computer vision model, which you can use the dataset to train. For brain tumors, instant segmentation and object detection models would be the best. Meta has its own model called Segment Anything Model SAM, and YOLO V8 and YOLO V5 are also very good instant segmentation models. Then you need to train your computer vision model using the pre-processed and augmented dataset. And finally, you need to test and validate the model. That's the accuracy and precision. Conclusion. AI in healthcare has the potential to revolutionize how we diagnose, treat, and care for patients, embracing this technology, making everything more accurate and efficient. But as we embrace this technology, we must also prioritize patient privacy and ethical considerations. By leveraging AI responsibly, we can create a future where healthcare is better for everyone with personalized treatments and improved patient outcomes. Thank you.